Yesterday, there was a huge memorial service for Charlie Kirk, and the turnout was huge. There was a lot of conservatives there, and a lot of Christian influencers and conservative influencers there. There was a lot of people there, to say the least. And you know that it's good when there's a lot of critics saying that they talked about Jesus too much. That's always a good thing. You can't get enough of Jesus, and if it annoys the critics, that's a good sign. And I'm sure today a lot of big political influencers are going to talk about this event, so I'm not really going to deep dive into it. There's a couple of videos I wanted to show you guys. There was one from actually Charlie Kirk's wife that's really inspirational, and I think that it brings a point across about what it's like to be a Christian. And all in all, the event was peaceful, thank God. You know, I actually was praying for this event that everything would go smoothly. I know there was some radical leftists that were protesting out front, and it was peaceful all around, and it's really good to see that. And this is from Erika Kirk. This is a part of her speech, and this is something that's really important that I wanted to point out, that she said about the situation. Let's go ahead and watch it.
That young man on the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him. I forgive him because it was what Christ did and is what Charlie would do. The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love. Love for our enemies and love for those who persecute us.
And this is from Luke 23:34. When Jesus was dying on the cross, he looked up to God, the Father, and said, "Father, forgive them, they don't know what they're doing." This is a very strong, powerful verse coming from Jesus, that God is dying on the cross from sinners, and he's saying, I forgive them. And this is a very powerful statement that she's saying right now. I have publicly said, I hope this guy goes on a firing squad. I hope that he, gets the death penalty, the highest penalty he can get, and that the law will take care of that. But as a Christian point of view, we have to forgive this guy. We have to forgive him. And I know it's hard to say, and I know a lot of people don't want to believe it, but we have to pray for this kid and pray for his salvation. Hopefully he finds Jesus before he faces his punishment. Her coming up here and being brave and saying this is sending a strong message to everybody, saying, forgive them, Father, they don't know what they do. And to forgive people. This is something that this country needs right now. It's just to have forgiveness. And then here's another one that came from Trump, and I think that it's something to highlight. This is why I love Trump, because he speaks for everybody. Right now, what he's about to say, everybody feels like this. Everybody who is a Christian, everybody who's a conservative, anybody who's just a normal person who cares about people, he is speaking. He is literally saying what we all want to say, and he's speaking on behalf of that. So let's go ahead and watch it.
Over the last 11 days, we have heard stories of commentators, influencers, and others in our society who greeted his assassination with sick approval, excuses, or even jubilation. You've heard that. So have I. Couldn't believe it. Some of the very same people who spent the last 8 years trying to sit in moral judgment of anyone who disagreed with them about politics suddenly started cheering for a murder. Incredible. You know the names. Some of the very people who call you a hater for using the wrong pronoun were filled with glee at the killing of a father with 2 beautiful young children. And the same commentators who this week are screaming fascism over a canceled late-night TV show where the anchor had no talent and no ratings. Last week were implying that Charlie Kirk deserved what happened to him. No side in American politics has a monopoly on disturbed or misguided people. But there's one part of our political community which believes they have a monopoly on truth, goodness, and virtue, and concludes they have also a monopoly on power, thought, and speech. Well, that's not happening anymore. We've turned that corner very quickly. Tragically, atrocities of this kind, and kind that we saw in Utah, of all places, are the eventual consequence of that kind of thinking. If speech is violence, then some are bound to conclude that violence is justified to stop speech. And we're not going to let that be justified. The tradition of reason and open debate that Charlie practiced is not a pillar of our democracy. In many ways, it's the basis of our entire society. It's the right and inheritance of every free American, the greatest legacy of the Enlightenment, and among the most treasured achievements of civilization.
Pretty much, he's calling out all the people who were celebrating his death. You know, and there's a couple of people I can think off the top of my head. You know, Destiny, I made a video about this guy. He's completely unhinged, going around trying to debate people. Like, he's trying to be Charlie Kirk. He's trying to be the new Charlie Kirk for Democrats, and it's not working. And he's right. You know, these people who sit here on a moral high ground thinking they're better than everybody else celebrated his death, like literally gleaned, foaming at the mouth, drooling at the mouth, like they're looking at some supper that he passed away. And it's very sad. I'm glad that Trump talked about this. This is how all Americans feel right now. He is talking like how we feel right now. So this is kind of what I want to show who was there. It's literally a stadium full of people, and I heard there was lines out the door still. So this is amazing, and it's not even the fact that people are there. Let's see what they're doing.
Who created us, who loves us the most, and nothing that you could do could ever make him love you any less, any more. Can we give him just about 30 seconds of our undivided attention as we sing this chorus? So I throw up my hand, praise you again.
Man, this is crazy. This gives me chills, guys. This gives me chills, bro. This is so amazing. It seems like it's a worship concert. It's not. This is all, you know, Christianity, politics, all mixed into one. They are having a praise service before they start this. That's what churches do. You know, it's not like some comedians walking up there, like on the RNC. You know, some of the RNCs, there's like a comedian that started the thing. This is a full-on worship with everybody there, all these people there. And people will call me crazy when I say there's a revival. You know, there's these armchair experts that I always hear about saying, this is nothing, we're just going to forget about this in 2 weeks, and this is going to be just, you know, another person that, you know, happened to die, and blah, 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 blah. Like, no. This is, like, if you see all these people, he filled up a stadium full of people worshiping Jesus before the memorial even started, before all this, the event started. It just makes me very happy. It makes me joyful that there's hope in this country still. You know, about 5 years ago, I would say, oh, this country is going to hell in a handbasket. People are, you know, worshiping the golden statue, but people are waking up. People are saying, hey, these Christians are, you know, peaceful and joyful. Where do I get that from? That's why as a Christian, you have to be like Jesus. You have to show these people who don't know who God is, hey, we're not this violent people that you've been told about from, you know, your professor at school. We are these kind, joyful people that care about you enough to take a bullet for you just to tell you the truth that we love you that much. That's how much Charlie Kirk loved these people. He loved people so much. He died. He pretty much took a bullet for us. And, you know, and you can talk about like, oh, well, you know, you're comparing to Jesus. No. This is a Christ-like person that died like Christ. He is a Christ-like person that died like Christ. So, what do you guys think about this? Like I said, there's going to be a huge revival. There already is. It's already starting. Like, at my school, I've been seeing it a lot more. A liberal school. And a lot of other places I've been seeing and people making videos about it, there's a huge revival and there's a huge shift in the atmosphere. And I think it's going to make the country even better. And I'm happy to experience this. But what do you guys think? Go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Go ahead and like this video if you liked it. Go ahead and hype up this video, guys. Spread the message around. And I'll see you guys in the next video.